If you hear the word marketing and the first reaction you have is feeling your heart sink, this video is for you. Most small business owners think that marketing is about who's the loudest, like a non-stop competition about who's the one that's grabbing more attention, full of aggressive tactics, the hype. And if you're a naturally more reserved person or simply an introverted small business owners, this all sounds exhausting. It seems that you have to become a completely different person to do your marketing right and get your business noticed. And this single assumption is the reason why so many small business owners or freelancers just give up. They stop sharing their valuable work or content because they think that nothing matters, they're never gonna be the loudest, they're never gonna grab enough attention, they will never be heard. And since that feels exhausting, they prefer to just hide and pretend the marketing is not in the room with them. But what if I told you that effective marketing is never been about being the loudest voice in the room? What if it's about being the most attentive, the most generous, the most trustworthy? Because this is what good marketing is for introverted small business owners. It's about listening and understanding, and these are renowned introverted qualities. So it's time for a reframe. Because even if you feel so, marketing is not your biggest enemy. It might just be your most natural strength. Before we actually get into what marketing is, we first have to get clear what it isn't. People throw the words marketing, advertising, sales as if it's all the same thing, but they're totally different. Confusing them is like looking at a banana and thinking you understand nutrition. So think about it like this. Imagine a new beautiful restaurant is opening in your town. You get some colorful flyers, you see some sponsor ads in your social media, you see a big billboard. That is advertising. And advertising meaning that you're paying to get seen, to get your message to a specific audience. And it's usually the most visible part. Now, you decide to visit a restaurant, so you're walking down the street and you see a sign saying 2-for-1 appetizers on Tuesdays. Or maybe they offer a free dessert with joining their email list. That is an example of promotion. And promotions are short-term tactics to create a little urgency and get people in the door. Then you decide to get into the restaurant. The servers come to your table, start telling you about the story of the chef, the locally sourced ingredient, recommends you the perfect dish based on what you said you like. This is sales. Sales is the direct interaction, person to person, that closed the deal. But wait, where is marketing then? Well, marketing is the work that happened months earlier. It's the decision to open a calm restaurant in a noisy neighborhood. It's the menu crafted for people who like comfort food. It's the pricing chosen to match the experience. It's picking the location where the right people will find it. Marketing is all the thinking and planning that made all decisions easier. Advertising, promotion, sales, those are all tools, the actions. So marketing is the logic behind every action. So this is the first reframe you should do. Marketing is not the shouting. Marketing is decided if you want to shout, whisper, or sing. It's understanding before you calibrate your actions. So the new definition that we give to marketing, it's actually that it's the act of helping someone solve a problem. It is the art of understanding a specific narrow group of people so deeply, so well, that whatever you're proposing, it doesn't feel like a icky sale. It doesn't feel like a pitch at all, but more like an answer to some questions they were already asking themselves. And if you're thinking, wait, what about all the pushy things that I've been seeing so far? You're right. The old model marketing, actually, the one that we've been dragging around since 1950, was built on interruption and a top-down approach. It was more about buying your attention and bringing their message in front of as many people as possible. But today, attention is scarce, tools are endless, and everybody's drowning in noise, honestly. So that old model doesn't work anymore. People, and especially small business owners, are finally understanding that business has to come from a place of need, not from I need money, then I'm trying to sell you something. And honestly, as an introverted, I love this shift. It's what I've always wanted for myself, and I bet you do too. Because I'm in business because I want to help people, not because I want to pressure someone in hiring me. I would actually feel terrible. That's just not who I am. I want alignment, I want clients who are genuinely happy to work with me and that walk away feeling supported and satisfied. And I bet that's your goal too. So what is coming next? I bet you're going to love it. So the new model, the one that actually works, is built on something that's completely different. It relies on empathy and trust. And that's exactly what you want to build for your business. It's about earning attention, not stealing it or forcing it. And as you can imagine, this changed things dramatically for introverted business owners. Because if you think about it, it's not anymore about being the loudest, but the goal is to be the most valuable. It's about giving people the real reason to trust you, a reason to test you, a reason to believe that what you offer is genuinely worth their time and money. And this can only happen when your understanding of your audience is so deep that everything is super clear. Their desire, their need, their pains, and your communication resonate naturally. It literally becomes an act of service to make things better for them. So as you can see, marketing is not about sales anymore, but it's about a service. It's about them. So your offer exists to fill their gaps, solve their struggles, and move them closer to their goals. And when you see it that way, something shifts. Marketing actually starts giving you the confidence to do what you're doing because you're creating something valuable, meaningful for someone that's actually already looking for you, which means you don't have to shout, but you actually just have to be findable. You need to build the path that brings them to you. So now that we covered the basics, let me finally get to the point of why I think marketing can be your natural superpower, specifically because you're an introvert. One of the biggest lies ever told about marketing is that introverted traits are a weakness, that you need to behave more like an extrovert to succeed. But the truth is actually the opposite, because your ability to focus, listen, understand, analyze is actually what creates a great marketing plan. So let's break it down to 3 core superpowers. 1. Deep listening and observation. Introverts are not quiet extroverts. We are different. And while everybody else is too busy trying to be and sound impressive, you are actually in the corner listening and gathering data. You notice the tiny details, the unspoken needs, and this is the foundation of great marketing. Every strong business, as I mentioned, is built on solving a real unmet need. And you are naturally good at it. And market research doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Sometimes it's just listening, talking to your clients, observing patterns, paying real attention. And the funny thing is that you've probably been doing this already your entire life, but without realizing it. So when you finally connect the dots, you can turn all that insights into content that can actually help people. And that leads straight to the second strength, and that's the power of valuable content. Let me tell you that if someone told you that giant networking events, cold calling, or being on all the time is mandatory, good news, it is not. Today, the most powerful marketing happens through content, and you don't need to stand in front of 100 people to do that. It can literally be you in front of the camera, like I'm doing. And by the way, if camera freezes you, I have a whole video about it to help you get comfortable with it. Link is here in the description. But even if you don't want to get on camera, you still have so many options. Blog, newsletters, faceless videos, social media posts, guides, tutorials. Well, literally anything that will help someone solve one specific problem and will help you show that you know your stuff. Even the short form content can build credibility if it solves a specific problem. So it doesn't matter how big or small your niche is, you can reach them with knowledge. And when people see the value in it, something start moving. And this leads us to 3, that's building genuine connection. I will never get tired of this. Introverts are actually excellent at building meaningful one-to-one connections. That is literally your zone of genius. If you can listen, you know your stuff, and you genuinely want to help someone, you are great at creating a meaningful conversation. And that's so much better than small talk in a giant room. And this is called for business, because trust is built with genuine connection. It literally can be as small as replying thoughtfully to a DM on Instagram, sending a thank you message to a client who left a review, sharing a resource with someone that mentioned that they were struggling with that specific problem. These tiny actions pile up, and you're probably either doing them or very good at them if you give yourself a chance. And you don't need 3,000 tasks, please. I see you high achievers. I do this too. You don't need to do it all. Even just 1 or 2 actions per day are enough, because they do add up and create momentum. This is how relationships are built, this is how trust is grown, and this is how you win as an introvert at marketing without pretending to be someone else. So before we jump to the second part of the video, if you like this video and you find this useful, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button to signal me that this is a topic you're interested in, so I can talk more about problems and struggles of introverted small business owners. Actually, if you want, you can also leave a comment and let me know what you want me to talk about. So now that we talk about your strengths and you hopefully have a new way of seeing marketing, we can go a little bit deeper and look at the foundational elements of marketing so that you know a little bit of theory that will hopefully make things clearer for you, but nothing overwhelming, I promise. My goal here is to make your marketing clearer and simpler, so you stop getting overwhelmed or stressed by it, or fooled by all the noise that extroverts are making out there. What I'm going to describe now are called the 4 P's of marketing, and they are like the timeless basics that we marketers have to study. These are literally behind everything you do in marketing. They represent the key consideration that every business owner have to do to create a successful marketing plan. So first of all, the first one, of course, is product. So what you sell. So in the past, very often, people created products or offer and simply tried to push them onto people. That's not what we do here. As we mentioned before, your product or offer or service should be the direct response of listening to a real problem of a specific niche. You create something because you know that someone somewhere needs it. And when you do that, it doesn't feel weird selling because you know that it has actual value. And this is true for every business, B2B or B2C. So then we naturally go into price. That is what you charge. And price is never a random number. It's not just cover the cost plus what I want to earn. Because price can also be a signal of value. A low price can actually make your offer be perceived as cheap or even uncertain. And while a low entry offer can be a strategic thing, competing on the lowest price, always, it is not a good strategy and can send the wrong message, besides being terribly hard, honestly. So whether you like it or not, like whether you're aware of it or not, your price always sends a message in terms of the support, the expertise, and the transformation people can expect. So don't be afraid to reflect that. Then we go to the place where people find you. And I'm not talking about being everywhere. That's not what we mean here. It's about being in the right places. So where is your business visible? Where can your clients find you? Where do they go when they're actively looking for a solution? So your job is not to show up everywhere, but to show up where it's meaningful for them, where they are, and make it easy for them to find you and evaluate you so that they can choose you. And finally, we have promotion. That's how people hear about your offer. And as you now know, it's not about being the loudest, but it's all about how you communicate what you do. Because people respond to what resonates with them and know that if they're looking for calm, they will respond to calm. If they want loud, they will respond to loud. And if they want creative, they will respond to creative. Ask yourself, where do you stand? What kinds of clients I want to attract? That is the lens that you use to create your promotion. So these are the 4 things that never change. Maybe platforms change. Maybe formats change. Maybe tomorrow TikTok disappears and something new pops up. But the 4P, they're always there. What changes is just the output. But the foundation stays the same. So it's useless to chase every random trend or tip. Stay focused on the data you collect and make sure to resonate with your audience. So hopefully this video is helping you reframe your marketing ideas. But at the same time, I also want you to fit yourself into the equation. And that's why I'm encouraging you to start also analyzing yourself and not just listening to your audience. Because when you match the two, that's when you create great marketing. So in the description, you will find the link to the free quiz that I created to find your superpower in marketing. It will help you understand what type of content you're naturally good at and how to use that strength to find aligned clients. Because marketing should never be your biggest fear. It can actually become one of your biggest strengths, and you already have everything you need to begin with. See you in the next video.